Welcome to the Evolving Kitchen. This isn't going to be a traditional channel, traditional cooking show. This is a real kitchen, not a studio. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the Evolving Kitchen and make some sourdough at the same time. Okay, so let's start with what this channel is not. We're not here to compete with thousands of recipe videos. We're not here to sell products or services. We're not here to waste your time with filler. We really want to build a calm, relaxed place where we can all learn out loud and together. Talk about what I've learned about safety, food safety, good nutrition, kitchen habits that make cooking safer for the immunosuppressed, and easier and more enjoyable for everyone, including or especially the cook. So here's a little bit more about what I'm thinking. We want to explore some new and old cooking technologies, techniques and tools, what works, what doesn't work, and what I'm still kind of figuring out. And this is a place where we can learn together. And I also want to share the process of cooking and the process of learning together with everyone. So to get started, I thought it would be important to develop what are the rules of the kitchen. So I've come up with a few rules that I think are important, and I'm not going to read them to you. They're right here on the board. You can read them for yourself, but we will be going through as we cook throughout the episodes. We'll be hitting each one of these kitchen rules. It really runs the show here. All right, so now I'm going to start with the sourdough. Sourdough's pretty easy. All you need are basically 5 ingredients. You need flour, you need sourdough starter, you need salt, butter, and some kind of sweetener. I'm using honey. One of the first rules that I use is mise en place. Mise en place means have everything ready. So as you can see, everything is ready to go. It's all measured and weighed, and we're ready to put it in the mixer and get the sourdough started. Okay. The first thing about this mixer is you start with the liquid ingredients. So I'm adding first the 280 grams of warm water. Then I'm going to add in the sourdough starter. Now the sourdough starter's been bubbling for all morning long. I refreshed it this morning, so it's ready to go. See how bubbly that is? It's alive. It's ready to make some bread. We'll be going through how to make a starter in future episodes, but today, just know that this is a 2-year-old sourdough starter, and I've been using it regularly. It's pretty good. In fact, here's the starter here. It's ready for the next batch. Next is the butter and the honey. No waste. That's one of our minimize waste. That's one of our other rules. Try to get it all out. We save the salt for after the dough gets incorporated. Next is we start adding the flour. Before I can do that, I need to put the roller on the mixer. This is a different kind of mixer. If you're used to a KitchenAid, this does not move. The bowl moves. This just pushes the ingredients around in the bowl. So we'll turn it on. Hope that's not too loud. But if you can show inside the bowl plate, you'll see how this works. All I'm doing is pushing this around. The bowl is spinning. That is not. It's steady. It only runs against the side of the bowl. So it's mixing a little bit as I want to get the butter and the honey and the water going. So I'm pushing the blade a little bit. This is a roller. It pushes the ingredients up against the wall. That's how it mixes everything up. And this is the bowl scraper. It scrapes the dough or the ingredients away from the side of the bowl and back into the middle. I'm going to turn the speed up a little bit. Sorry for the noise. Hope you can hear me. It's actually not as loud as some mixers. Okay, so the butter is starting to incorporate very well, and I'm going to start adding the flour. You see that? There's about 13. I forgot. Where's the flour? 13. That's it. Alright, you can see the flour now is mixing pretty easily into the water. This mixer will keep it going. I need to add more until it starts to form some glue. It starts to get a little. If you look in, it's starting to firm up a little bit. I'm going to push the blade a little bit to get it mixing in there. There we go. This mixer actually, when you're making sourdough, it has several different timing. Now you can see that the mixer is going crazy. So what we do is we anchor the roller a little bit further away from the wall. That will keep beating up the flour, which is exactly what we want it to do. It's like grandma beating up the dough before making Italian bread. That's a little bit too far. I'm going to move it back in a little bit. I'll have a whole episode where you can see the entire process of a mixer. But for today, we'll just put all the ingredients in and then go to the next step. I like to reserve some flour. Sometimes it doesn't need all that flour. It takes a while for the liquid to get incorporated into the flour. I put a little bit too much flour in this last time. Should do little at a time. All right, everybody, it's been about 45 minutes since we put the bread in the oven, and it's ready to come out. But before I do that, let me show you the sourdough that we put in the mixer, and it's set to rise. So that's what we got after mixing the dough. In about 12 hours, we'll let this rise, and in 12 hours, we'll have the next batch of sourdough ready to be baked. Okay, let's get this stuff out of the oven. First, one of the rules is to follow food safety protocols. One of the safety protocols for bread is to bake it until it reaches 195 to 200 degrees. So let's check the temperature before we pull them out. Oh, it's perfect. 199. All right. right, look pretty good. The type of sourdough that we're making today is sandwich sourdough. That's why it's in these loaf pans, the cast iron loaf pans, instead of the normal kind of sourdough rounds that you see. But it rose pretty nicely. It's got some nice crust on there. Too hot to try, but let's see if we can get it out of the pan.
We're gonna have that for dinner tonight?
Yes, yeah, look at that. Perfect. Yes, we're having this for Christmas Eve dinner. There we go. Perfect. Wow. These cast iron pans are amazing. Let me just turn it over so you can see the top. Clean gloves. Sanitize them before using them. Okay. Now the next step is, let's put a little butter on top to make them come nice and shiny. Wow. It really rose up. It almost popped out. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I think that's going to do it for this episode. All of the tools that you saw in today's video, we'll be using again. I'll explain the cool technologies and cool tools that I use, the essential tools that I think that you need when you cook. Coming soon. Thank you, everyone. See you next time. Say bye, Clay.
Bye.